4시 20몇 분인데 오후에 책 좀 읽겠습니다. It's always personal. Emotion in the new workplace. Almost 80% of the women and 69% of the men in our survey believe that when people show emotion in the workplace, it makes them seem more human, more approachable. That is, it provokes their colleagues to feel empathy. The language instinct, how the mind created the language. A broadcast area is adjacent to the part of the motor control strip dedicated to the jaws, lip, and tongue, and it was once thought that broadcast area is involved in the production of language, though obviously not speech per se, because writing and signing are just as affected. Early bird, a memo of premature retirement that included people that were going to combat. Change anything, the new science of personal success. Hopefully this short historical review helped put our change plan in perspective. Thinking in best, making smarter decisions when you don't have all the facts. In our decision-making lives, we aren't that good at taking this kind of a perspective, at accessing the past and the future to get a better view of how any given moment might fit into the scope of time. Make your kid a money genius, even if you are not. Do you need it? Yes, but you may already have the coverage and not know it. Don't sweat the small stuff, and it's all small stuff. Simple ways to keep the little things from taking over your life. What you are doing here is cleaning your mind with a mini version of a meditation exercise. 9 minutes on Monday. The quick and easy way to go from manager to leader. There has been much debate about why people fail to help others in such situations, but through continued research, some interesting patterns have begun to emerge. Study skills, when you needed to know and how to do it. Reminders of the basics. When you are planning a writing assignment, make sure you factor in plenty of time for reviewing and proofreading. Encouragement for the emotionally abused woman. Taking time for yourself. As scary as the prospect may seem, you need time alone to discover who you really are, to learn to rely on yourself, to learn to like your own company, and to break your tendency to be dependent on others. These are lovers and poisonous people. How to protect your health from relationships that make you sick. One of those cluster headaches came on me, and the pattern was starting to become clear. The law of attraction, the basics of the teachings of Abraham. When you really feel like jumping into action, that is a clear sign that your vibration is pure and you are not offering contradictory thought to your own desire. AG Wave, how the most important trend about time will change your future. the Saks Fifth Avenue store in Palm Springs, California, a town populated mostly by adults, nevertheless does brisk business in children's toys and clothes. The children's section of the store is referred to by some as the grandmother's boutique. The brain, the story of you. The poster boy of neuroscience with ideas that will stretch your mind. The rest aren't doing that because of finance or social coercion. Knock your socks off answers, solving customer nightmares and soothing nightmare customers. Because of that fact, it's tempting during a problem resolution effort to begin offering helpful observation. If you want using the instruction manual to prop up that table leg, you might be able to find some of the correct command information on your own. Marketing in the age of Google, your online strategy is your business strategy. Most searchers looked at the image and impact more than looked to the results below the image than to those above it. Fearless. How to win your way in work and life. From the outside in, recognizing that it's not all you. Knowing you have to deal with it from the outside means you are more able to recognize fear in its many forms. The leader who had no title, a modern fable in real success in business and in life. And as you work at world class, not only will your career with a bright mind books at the fly, but also your levels of personal fulfillment will soar. 2,600 pages for setting effective performance goals, ready-to-use pages that really get results. Foster a culture that respects the individual, customer, and the organizational need. Traffic. Why we drive the way we do and what it says about us. The tickets were not acquired randomly. The 15 invaluable laws of growth. Live them and reach your potential. Why were they cute? Why did people laugh at them? Why were they innovative? Why did people connect with them? People I was learning from the course, I was collecting, and I was using the same kind of slant to make my own ideas creative and memorable. Say it like the Obama and win. The power of speaking with purpose and vision. There's no plan to address the downside of globalization. Hire and keep the best people. 21 practical and proven techniques you can use immediately. Start them off right. The time and attention you invest in a new hire at the beginning will give you a tremendous payoff in an improved productivity and performance in the weeks and months ahead. Selling when no one is buying, growing prospect, clients, and sales in tough economic times. My first reaction was the anger. Full catastrophe living, using the wisdom of your body and mind to face stress, the pain, and illness. In a study by Dr. Dean and his colleague, to be discussed in more detail in Chapter 31, people with documented coronary heart disease who completed a 24-day intensive lifestyle change program that involved low fat, low cholesterol, vegetarian diet and daily meditation and yoga practice greatly reduced their previously elevated blood pressure response to a range of tasks, inducing psychological stress, such as doing mental arithmetic under time pressure, whereas people in a control group who did not change their diet or practice these techniques did not show or lower the blood pressure reactivity to stress when retested. Barack Obama, the audacity of hope, sought on reclaiming the American dream. What would that be worth to all of us and America in which crime had fallen? More children are cared for, cities are reborn, and the biases, fear, and discord that black poverty feed are slowly drained away. Good leaders ask great questions. Your foundation for successful leadership. Don't dismiss those feelings of fear and inadequacy. Acknowledge their feelings. Leaders who avoid the risk do so generally because they do not have the competence to believe in their own success. Great American speeches. Yeah, I want to talk plainly to you tonight about what we are doing in Korea and about our policy in the Far East. In the simplest terms, what we are doing in Korea is this. We are trying to prevent a third world war. Smarter, faster, cheaper, non-boring, flap-free strategies for marketing and promoting your business. Watch your step. Your digital footprint is your reputation. Everything you do online leaves some kind of footprint. It might be long-lasting or it might be short-lived. A survival guide for leaders. At times, this means reminding people that although they work less, part-timers also earn less. Restful sleep, the complete mind-body program for overcoming insomnia. You can substitute other light to moderate exercises of a continuous motion, such as cycling and swimming. Using a stationary bicycle or cross-country ski machine is also recommended. Freedom to make your life and work rich with purpose. Motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going. Help of one you hear, a delicious, insightful page turner. Libby looks up at us like a cowering, opened animal. A good night to sleep. What a Harvard doctor wants you to know. Treatments for insomnia, sleep apnea, restless legs, and other sleep disorders. People with DSP have greater difficulty falling asleep at a traditional bedtime. Gender studies. Sex among allies, military prostitution in U.S.-Korea relations. Women's political participation in nation and the state remain a mixed bag. A long bright future, happiness, health, and financial security in an age of increased longevity. Many had shown, for example, that all the rest treated with drugs that positively alter the HPA axis perform better than untreated rats in learning to run mazes. The Cancer Book, one-on-one stories of courage, support, and love. Writers share all their experiences, from the initial diagnosis to breaking the news to loved ones to discussing their impact on home, school, and work. Blunder. Why smart people make bad decisions. Had they allowed the free flow of information, their colleagues could have saved them from themselves. Better, simpler strategy, a value-based guide to exceptional performance. Mass market customers appreciate Tatra's excellent mobile app. Its rating is 6% above market average, but the quality of mobile apps is not nearly as important to them as the bank's financial stability and the sense that the institution will keep its promise. Economic indicators, the secrets of hidden clues to future economic trends and investment opportunities. Housing is a major industry upon which many other businesses rely. Maybe you should talk to someone, a therapist, and our lives rebuild. I imagine that Matt feels trapped in time, newly married, young, wanting to live a normal life and start a family, all the while knowing that what he has left with Julie is temporary. Relax into wealth. How to gain more by doing less. Giving 99% is hard, but giving 100% is easy. Currency war, the making of the next global crisis. A decade later, a younger generation of academics, including Miron Scholes, Robert, son of a famed sociologist Robert K. and F., came forward with a new series on the pricing of options, opening the door to the explosive growth of financial futures and other derivatives contracts ever since. The Mozart Effect, tapping the power of music to heal the body, strengthen the mind, and unlock the creative spirit. The paced hours teach us how to pace our life. Day trading for dummies. Solid advice on kick action trading. If you make too many trades to keep track of manually, then dispatcher will be especially important to you. Case interview secret. You need to identify competitor strategic choices so you can compare them to your client's strategic choice and to how the customer segment have evolved over time. Wolfpack, how to come together, unleash our power, and change the game. Would I be good enough? I didn't know. Why success always starts with failure. Adapt. G's choice of British lamb over New Zealand lamb might well have released more carbon dioxide 4 times as much if one team of academic researchers, admittedly based in New Zealand, is to be believed. My stroke of insight, a brain scientist's personal journey. Please note that I have created a list of recommendations for recovery as a synopsis, of this chapter's comments and recommendation for how I needed to be assessed and what I needed the most to recover. The 15 secrets successful people know about time management. If you don't do it yourself, think how much you spend on mowing, replacing mulch, buying lawn fertilizer, applying weed killer, or trimming trees. The 80 to 20 rule would suggest that only 20% of yard maintenance activities account for about 80% of how your yard actually looks to the neighbors and others who are driving by your home. With that in mind, you might decide to mow and weed, but stop edging and planting seasonal flowers. Unless yard work is fun for you, of course. Made it to stick, while some ideas survive and others die. A man trying to kick a drinking problem will be better off if he mentally rehearse how he will handle Super Bowl Sunday. How should he respond when someone gets up for the beers? Teens talk getting into college. One-on-one true stories from kids who have lived through it. When the summer started, I was in a pretty reckless state of mind. What would the American theaters be without these Jewish actors, playwrights, and the directors? While growing up in East London, where her father was a postal worker and her mother a secretary, Lacey sang in the church choir, but it wasn't until she was in her mid-20s, with the encouragement of some musician friends, that she started writing and performing songs. 59 seconds. Change your life in under a minute. The researcher asked if they would mind taking part in a survey about the use of a household product for a publication called The Guide. The Watchman's Letter, Sinking Our Way Out of Extinction. This is really useful when the old ones stop working well, which it turns out begins occurring on humans around the age of 30 years old. Yes, that's right. We start losing cognitive capabilities around the time we turn 30. Everyday greatness, inspiration for a meaningful life. Some parents and coaches even complained that since most 103-pounders were stringingly limbed kids, Kay had an unfair advantage over them. Making a good brain great. Early treatment is essential to stave off the ravages of psychiatric illness. Born reading. Bring up bookworms in a digital age, from picture books to e-books and everything in between. Once you find something your child loves, he or she will likely listen to the audiobooks for weeks at a straight. Leading with emotional intelligence, hands-on strategies for building competent and collaborative star performers. What are you trying to accomplish? The body keeps the score, brain, mind, and the body in the healing of trauma. I was astounded. The leadership challenge, how to make extraordinary things happen in organization. I learned, said Anna, that to foster accountability, you needed to delegate authority and give others a chance to take the responsibility. The meritocracy trap. Second, new legal technologies created the market for corporate control that takeover artists might deploy routinely rather than just in exceptional cases to discipline management that failed to maximize shareholder value. Get up your butt. How to end self-sabotage and stand up for yourself. Here's my prescription. Giggle more, smile more, have a good belly laugh as often as possible. One simple idea. Turn your dreams into a licensing goldmine while letting others do the work. Yeah, even if a company does have an online form for submitting ideas, I still think it is more effective to call first for several reasons. Your competence in and passion for your idea are more likely to come through your voice than through your writing. Chicken Soup for the College Soul, inspiring and humorous stories about the college. I called the K and bragged that I'd finished the assignment. 100 ways to improve your writing, designed for both the instant reference and cover-to-cover reading. You will see that while both the paragraphs contain the same information, the version on the right has style, and that makes all the difference. The Sales Gurus, lessons from the best sales books of all time. In addition, you will learn the following: how to overcome objection to sales benchmarking within your organization. The science of mind. The only excuse for taking up this topic in a course of lesson in mental science is that, being the phenomena of mind, it should come under the category of non-mental action. Management tips. Harvard Business Review. Get the right direction. Connect the dots. With your team, create two lists, one of the major project and one of the organization's goals. Draw lines between the two lists. If there are projects that don't line up, consider refocusing or killing them. Connect the dots. How to see what others miss and predict the future. Those that received the D just failed to last beyond the initial year they were predicted. The paradox of choice. Why more is less. How the culture of abundance robs us of satisfaction. Perhaps even more insidious than the hedonic treadmill, it is something that Daniel called the satisfaction treadmill. Toward positive youth development, transforming schools and community program. Learning context beyond the classroom, extra activities, community organization, and peer groups. The Knights and the Handbook, simple instruction for making a big difference. Open your home to those displaced by disasters. Get involved in your community citizens co-council. The Daily Stoic, 366 Meditation on Wisdom, Perseverance, and the Art of Living. Example of this include thoughts like, if you are not with me, you are against me. Find out anything from anyone, anytime. Secrets of calculated questioning from a veteran interrogator. Their chapter is part of an international organization that raises money for women's education and has stipulated that chapters need a website, email address, and other basic electronic connectivity. Good economics for hard times. Public spending did not fall from 45% of GDP to 34% during the Thatcher years, but it then partially recovered under subsequent governments. Ethics 101, what every leader needs to know. As you apply the golden rule to your life and make decisions according to it, remember this. A wrong decision leaves scars. Every time people make wrong decisions, there is an impact, even if they don't immediately notice it. Decisive. How to make better choices in life and work. You might also use one yourself to prepare for decisions you've made. The bare necessities of business. Building a company with heart. Advertise smart. It's only within the past several years that Build a Bear Workshop has had the national presence necessary to support the national advertising campaign, including television commercial and placement in some of the top consumer magazines for children. Figuring out how much to spend on paid advertising is tricky. For better, for worse, the science of a good marriage. So, what should a couple do when for better becomes for worse? The answers, which we'll explore in the next section, may surprise you. The drop. In shopping, the premium placed on spontaneity and quick twitch reflexivity conditions supposed to quiet or mute the cautious prefrontal cortex and heat the limbic and the instinctive. It just happens to be completely wrong when it comes to the stock market, the other 10%. The cognitive shortcut that our mind takes, our heuristic, are what get investors into trouble. Why men don't have a clue and women always need more shoes, the ultimate guide to the opposite sex. The closest most Western males have come to this statement is Speedo swimming trunks. Extreme ownership, how U.S. Navy SEALs lead and win. Do me a favor, I asked the company commander. The other 90%, how to unlock your vast untapped potential for leadership and life. Get the big picture. As you prepare to return to your daily routine, take a few seconds to acknowledge why getting gone really matters. You can't have everything. Where would you put it? Disrupt you. master personal transformation, seize opportunity, and thrive in the era of endless innovation. We had wired every public school in the United States without $1 from the government. Citizens were literally pulling together to provide greater opportunities for the next generation. Making sense, conversation on consciousness, morality, and the future of humanity. Whatever the color of your skin, you'll be shot. The 10 Commandments of money. Survive and thrive in the new economy. Your home is not a piggy bank. Get a college education you can afford. Pay off debt the smart way. Create a budget that works in the real world. As I mentioned in the first chapter, you can offset some of the cost by using tax-advantaged savings account, flexible spending account, FSAs, if your employer provides them, or has a savings account, which are tied to high deductible policies. One simple idea for startups and entrepreneurs: live your dreams and create your own profitable company. If your product sells, stores will order it again and again. The raging 2020s, companies, countries, people, and the fight for our future. Again, according to Ambassadors Carson, the Chinese are happy to buy their way into a deal. Quit like a millionaire, no gimmicks, luck, or trust fund are required. Once you yield the shield, cash has been gathered in the joint investment account. You need to decide what to do next. The room where it happened, a White House memoir. We ran into similar obstacles internationally as we sought to alert our allies to far-wage threat and that by the state-controlled Chinese firms. The 10 Commandments of money. Survive and thrive in the new economy. Caveat number 3. These strategies assume the tax laws will remain pretty much the same until your kids are grown. Flight plan, the real secret of success. How to achieve more faster than you ever dreamed possible. Chapter 9, activate your subconscious mind. A miracle is nothing more nor less than this. Anyone who has come into a knowledge of his true identity, of his oneness with the all-pervading wisdom and power, thus makes it possible for laws higher than the ordinary mind knows of to be revealed to him. One your first grader needs to know fundamentals of a good first grader education, mathematics. The Wealthy Gardener, lessons on prosperity between father and son. Another kid scoffed at the boy's statement. He should try the lower class. What's next? Follow your passion and find your dream job. Stitching together a new life. But as health and care began to be driven more by insurance and less by patient care, W became disillusioned. The new climate war, the fight to take back our planet. Nonetheless, the many prominent climate advocates continue to advance the individual action policy frame. Animal spirit, how human psychology drive the economy and why it matters for global capitalism. But we are in great fear of ideologues on a future Federal Reserve Board who will take natural rate theory as more than a useful parable, consider their duty to define price stability at zero inflation, and see no great cost in achieving it. T-minus at AI, humanity's countdown to artificial intelligence and the new pursuit of global power. There's no reason to believe Xi's administration won't continue to do so with the AI-enhanced weapon system, especially considering its intent to expand the sphere of technological and economic influence, as discussed throughout this and the previous chapter. The unexpected legacy of the both. Evolving relationship. After a short hesitation, the child said, Paula's my mom. She's here. I'll get her. Strategies of the Serengeti, where having the right strategy is a matter of life and death. However, as some have found it useful, feel free to include this at the stage. Infographics for dummies identify trends and patterns in the data. They both really do the same thing, but the clipping path allows to import into other programs, including Illustrator, as a masked object. The mood cure experienced the power of nutritional therapy, a remarkably comprehensive guide to improving and maintaining a more positive and joyous frame of mind. And it did. The best advice I ever got. Lessons from the extraordinary lives. You are sitting on a winning lottery ticket, invested wisely. When I graduated from college in 1992, I felt as if I had hit the lottery. Civility in America. The myths and the facts she was claiming in her blogs about our company were staggering. Overcoming addiction, the spiritual solution. When a COPPA individual has been using drugs for some time, however, there is almost always a vata imbalance, which must be addressed before the needs of the dominant dosa can be fulfilled. Excuse me. The Survival Guide to Modern Business Etiquette. A knife starts out in the dominant hand for cutting. Why people fail, the 16 obstacles to success, and how you can overcome them. The outer circle. When it comes to your outer circle relationship, the strategy is a little different. Grain brain, the surprising truth about wheat, carbs, and sugar, your brain's silent killers. To understand how this could possibly be true, it helped to recall what I hinted at in the first chapter about LDL being a carrier protein. That's not necessarily bad. Talent is overrated. The after-action review is a very powerful process, Kay says. Football for Dummies. Learn 2. grasp the rules and regulation, position, place, and penalties. I think that more college and universities are giving scholarships to play football today than 40 years ago. What strange paradise. Go ahead, she told the A. Make sure you get it all in the water, not the boat. The high five habit. Take control of your life with one simple habit. How about I start tomorrow? When you are worried you might fail at something or are afraid to start, you tell yourself, I'm not ready yet. It's not the right time. I mean, maybe it could be the right time, but it doesn't feel like the perfect time. You know what? I need a full block of time to do this, and I better not start since I don't have 2 hours. Maybe I'll just empty the dishwasher, do a little laundry, rearrange my desk, and push back my uh, cuticles and take the sheer much out of my belly button before starting. I promise I'll totally tackle that this afternoon. No, tonight, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. Maybe another load of laundry first. I think my eyebrows need waxing. Playing to win, how strategy really works. A couple days before the offsite meeting, I finally came to a format for characterizing the thinking process of strategy, a framework that became the logic flow. How chapter the lie, getting smarter about visual information. Forecasters always prefer to err on the side of caution rather than overconfidence. Win. The key principles to take your biddings from ordinary to extraordinary, so that the competitors eventually say, fuck them, these guys are crazy, we'll compete somewhere else. Prisoners of Geography, 10 maps that explain everything about the world. Yeah, with India, it always comes back to Pakistan, and with Pakistan to India. Magnificent mind at any age. Treat anxiety, depression, memory problems, ADD, and the insomnia. Natural ways to unleash your brain's maximum potential. Developmental toughness. Yeah, Chris had struggled with anxiety and trouble breathing when he first came to see me. The 17 indispensable laws of teamwork. Embrace them and empower your team. Put your need first in every situation. As your partner, we promise to add value to your personal leadership. Recognize we serve a common goal. Tailor our service to meet your need. Never take for granted the trust placed in us. Embody excellence in everything we do. Respect everyone's uniqueness. The single greatest way to impact an organization is to focus on leadership development. Your $1 million dream. Create a winning business plan. Post regularly, or else you lose readers and your traffic will take a major drive. Success is a choice. 10 steps to overachieving in business and life. These are the questions we all want to able to answer. on AI, analytics, and the new machine age. Yeah, Stella initially focused on Africa, particularly Nigeria, the largest economy there. Have a new husband by Friday, how to change his attitude, behavior, and communication in 5 days. I'll perform until you stop the clapping. Act like a lady, think like the man. One man really think about love, relationship, intimacy, and the commitment. Say, for instance, he tells you that he wants to be an engineer and he's going to night school to get his degree, and you tell him that you have a few friends who are engineers and you can offer to introduce him to them so that they can give some helpful advice as he works toward his new career. Irresistible, the rise of addictive technology and the biddings of keeping us hooked. So you begin again and try to complete another line as the game speeds up and your fingers are forced to dance across the control more quickly. The success principle, how to get from where you are to where you want to be. The person usually says, no, I want more than that. The multi-hyphen method, work less, create more, and design a career that works for you. Chapter 7, the multi-hyphen method toolkit. 10 ways to use multi-hyphenate foundation. Pinpoint to your own unique blend. If you are mixing and marrying different roles, then you will be offering a different kind of CV. Emotional intelligence, why it can matter more than the IQ, emotional literacy. But why not do what we can to prevent the need by giving children the nurturing and the guidance that cultivate the essential emotional skills in the first place? Why men want sex and women need the love. Myth number 6. You can usually sense when your partner is fooling around. Richard Habit, the daily success habits of wealthy individuals, the accountant. It's called cervical intraepithelial neoplasia. D had said. Brainstorm, unleashing your creative self. The Q area for the Circle Vision Theater was a large room with benches where a Peppy Pawn Company employee would conduct a pre-show talk about the virtues of long-distance calling. Never eat alone. How to build a lifelong community of colleagues, contacts, friends, and mentors, and other secret to success, one relationship at a time. He never forgot. People never do. You remembered my birthday, he said. People are already shocked by this. Great design for great city, New York, of course. Where else? Where else? Creating success from the inside out. Develop the focus and the strategy to uncover the life you want. Life can be so good, we don't want to rock the boat. Life can be so hard, we can't seem to break out of the cycle of despair and death. or we can't see any way out. Forgiveness is a key to overcoming. Acclaimed negotiation expert. I believe that negotiators should be more than able to adapt their approach in a manner that is professional, credible, convincing, and authentic. Don't fire them up. Motivate yourself and your team. Without evaluation, how else will Bill and Nancy know what needed to be improved? Brilliant the interview. Congratulations, you've got the interview. Now, how will you get the job? Brilliant outcomes. Present yourself in the best possible light at every time. Upstream, the quest to solve problems before they happen. And since there are 49 other states with a high-risk population of mothers who need help too, the possibilities for expansion are almost limitless. Weather for dummies. For the rest of the world, there are the videos they bring back that end up on television, and of course in the warmth and the safety of our homes now, there is the movie Twister. Simple, conquering the crisis of complexity, simplicity, and spread. Many people think that by using overblown language in their report or writings, they will appear to be smarter. The power of affirmation. Romance and love flow to me easily and effortlessly. Unplug every day. 365 ways to log up and live better. Explore. Treat yourself to a beautiful fountain pen. The art of success. What no one ever taught you, but you still need to know. Ask yourself, what would I regret the more? Taking the risk and failing or making no attempt? Game changers, what leaders, innovators, and mavericks do to win at life. 4-star ball aerobic training raises the cortisol, stress hormone level, which causes inflammation and accelerate aging. Broke the millennials. Stop scraping by and get your financial life together. If you think he or she may not have stripped it all up, then be sure to return to the conversation in a few weeks or months. The Longevity Project. People such as combat veterans who have encountered more horror than they can cope with may very likely face post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Think for being late, an optimistic guide to thriving in the age of acceleration. When you make a community work as you can really affect the quality of life for the vast majority. Speak. Love your story. Your audience is waiting. Use your voice to step up your speaking game and the human game. Does anyone even like me? The most courageous act is still to think for yourself aloud. Yeah, the brain that changes itself. Stories of personal triumph from the frontiers of brain science. Though she has only a right hemisphere, M is not a desperate creature barely surviving on life support. Korea unmasked in search of the country, the society, and the people. Each of the major TV stations ran exit polls. Perfect praise for the Sage Call. What do I need to ask my prospect to determine if he or she need each benefit? Hyper focus, how to be more productive in a world of distraction. Test it and see what works for you. Scale for success. Expert insight into growing your business. Grant has a passion for beer. This raises the issue of what will happen if we never give our consent. Keep God out of our hearts throughout our whole existence. Unscripted life, liberty, and the pursuit of entrepreneurship. Do what you love. Kill this love, he wrote. The ultimate happiness prescription. 7 keys to joy and enlightenment. Locating a feeling in your body bypass the inner mental chatter that keeps such feelings alive. Cover letters. Now updated with the new guideline for online cover letters. As my resume shows, I have substantial experience in easy way to stop smoking. Think about it. Who is more likely to relapse? Someone that doesn't want to smoke or someone that does? Manage people. Identify, encourage, and build on your team's existing strengths and skills. The needs of the coach. More time to be result focused. Four steps to building your future. Chapter 7, Step 3. Communicate to your brand. There are billions of people in the world, but only a select few are celebrities. The fight for a human future at the new frontier of power. We have carefully examined the surveillance capitalism's novel foundational mechanism, economic imperative, gathering power, and societal objectives. The secret language of business, how to read anyone in 3 seconds or less. Master body language, decipher hidden meanings, influence anyone. Let's take a more detailed look at each of these categories. Goal setting, work ethic, social responsibility, personal responsibility. Hero. Follow your bliss. Eat this and live. How to make simple food choices, feel better, look younger, live longer. Orange. Orange colored fruits and vegetables, including carrots, mangoes, cantaloupes, pumpkins, sweet potatoes, yams, squash, and apricots. Money doesn't grow on trees. A parent's guide to raising financially responsible children. Do you think taxes are a good thing or a bad thing? Writers Express, a handbook for young writers, thinkers, and learners. Is the information from an expert source? Imagine that you are looking for information about tornadoes. 100 simple secrets of successful people, what scientists have learned and how you can use it. Amy is a career counselor who sees people changing jobs every day. Company of one, while staying small is the next big thing for business. Teach everything you know. And they wanted to use this new medium called the internet to do it. The personal MBA mastered the art of business. As a result, we tended to underestimate the likelihood of things that could impact the plan, as well as how much those contingencies will affect the project. Who's pulling your strings? How to break the cycle of manipulation and regain control of your life. When you resist manipulative pressure successfully, you can recalibrate the power balance in the relationship. The Book of Why, The New Science of Cause and Effect. Historians quarrel about who invented instrumental variables, a method that became extremely popular in modern econometrics. Solve for happy, engineer your path to joy. A participant exhibited a huge increase in happiness scores when they expressed gratitude, and the impact sometimes lasted as long as a full month. Stop white people like the definitive guide to the unique taste of millions. If they have heard of the designer, they will nod in agreement. If they have not, they will also nod in disagreement and make a note to look it up later. In either case, your status will rise. How to survive your freshman of the year. Get your own mini fridge and buy your own food.